Chapter 24 and Chapter 25, the final chapters of White Fang. Chapter 24, Jim Hall's Revenge. White Fang's adventures were not quite over yet. There was one more surprise in store for him. A prisoner had escaped from a nearby jail. Jim Hall was a violent and dangerous man. Judge Scott had sentenced Hall to 50 years in jail for his many crimes and offenses. Hall swore revenge. When news of his escape reached the Scott family, they were all worried. Everyone except the judge. He did not think Hall would bother with him. "The police will catch him soon enough," he said. "There's no need to worry." Whedon's wife thought the family needed more protection. It was good to keep everyone from worrying, but she took no chances. Each night after everyone was in bed, she let White Fang in. The wolf slept in the front hall, guarding the house. Each morning, she would let him back out before anyone else was up. On one such night, White Fang smelled something strange. There was something dangerous in the house. He walked softly to the staircase and saw a man. The stranger moved quietly around the corner. He stayed very close to the wall, making no sound as he walked. Just as the man lifted a foot to walk up the stairs, White Fang attacked. The man cried out. White Fang's teeth sank into his leg. The wolf pulled him off the stairs and onto the floor. The hall was dark, and the man could not see his attacker. They continued to roll on the carpet together. A revolver was fired 3 times. The fight was over. The whole house woke up and ran up to the front hall. Whedon turned on the lights. There was Jim Hall lying on the rug. He was dead. Beside him lay White Fang, breathing very slowly. Whedon went to his side. "White Fang!" The wolf gave a soft growl, trying to look up at his master, but he had no strength. "I'm right here," he said. Whedon stroked the wolf's head. "Don't worry, we'll get you help." The judge rode into town to notify the police and to bring back a surgeon for White Fang. As dawn broke, the family waited nervously for a report. "There are 3 broken ribs, a broken hind leg, and 3 bullet holes," the doctor said. "I'm sorry to say that. This will be difficult." "Spare no expense," the judge said. "Treat this wolf as you would any hero. We owe him our lives." The surgeon said that he understood and went back to work on the wolf. The entire Scott family sat quietly in the living room. Whedon's wife wept softly, saying a prayer that White Fang's life would be saved. No one wanted to think what might have happened without their wolf. No one wanted to think what life might be like if their wolf did not make it. Whedon sat by the window on his own. He cried quietly to himself. "Please, boy," he whispered, "you can do it. Don't let me down." After what felt like hours, the surgeon returned. Thankfully, he had good news to report. "Your wolf made it through the operation," he said. Whedon's children clapped, and the judge slapped him on the back. "Thank goodness, doctor," he said. "We couldn't be happier." "Can I go and see him?" Whedon asked. "He's still asleep, but you can check in if you'd like," the doctor answered. "But you should know that it will be a long recovery period. There were 3 bullets in him, and it will take a long time to heal. He's going to be in a cast for quite some time, too." Whedon hugged the doctor. "He's going to be just fine," the young man said. "I can feel it." He went to see his wolf. The dining room had been turned into a temporary operating room. White Fang was lying on the side of the table. His ribcage was wrapped in bandages, and there was a cast on his leg. He did not look sick. He looked like he was sleeping very soundly. "So what do you say, old boy?" Whedon whispered. "Let's make this our last adventure. How about we live a nice, quiet life after this?" Chapter 25, A Family of His Own. White Fang was never alone. When he woke from his operation, Whedon was right there talking to him. At first, he was worried and confused. The last thing he remembered was the strange man in the hallway. He tried to get up so he could check that the house was safe. His legs would not work, though. He could not walk around. "Stay where you are," his master said. "Everything is fine." His master's voice was soft and calm. It was just like the first time he spoke to the wolf in the Northland before he was tamed. White Fang thought that the danger must be gone since his master did not sound angry or nervous. So the wolf went back to sleep. He could finally get a good rest without worry. Whedon and his family took very good care of White Fang. Whedon's wife fed him by hand. The children brought him blankets and slowly stroked his head. Judge Scott and his wife checked on him every chance they got, and Whedon rarely left his side. The day finally came when the doctor removed the cast. Poor White Fang was still very weak, but could at least move around. At first, he could only walk from one room to another. He was so tired that he had to lie down again. Eventually, he could walk farther, even venturing outside. "Today will be a big day for you," Whedon said. He scratched behind White Fang's ears. The wolf nuzzled into his arm and softly growled. "We're going out to the barn. I want you to meet someone." The whole family was very excited. They all walked with White Fang across the back lawn. It took a long time, but he finally made it. The collie was lying inside the barn on a straw bed. 6 tiny puppies were beside her. 2 of them were all gray and looked just like their father. She growled when the family entered the barn, warning them all not to hurt her babies. White Fang walked over to his new family. He lay down in the straw, ignoring the collie's growls. Whedon and his family crouched near the doorway, watching the new puppies and parents. One of the puppies sprawled in front of White Fang. He cocked his ears and looked at it. Then their noses touched. He felt the warm little tongue of the puppy on his muzzle. White Fang's tongue went out and he licked the puppy's face. Hand clapping and happy shouts came from the Scott family. White Fang was surprised and looked strangely at them. The other puppies came crawling toward White Fang. At first the collie was upset, but she did not stop them. She knew White Fang would not hurt them. They started to climb over their father. At first, White Fang felt strange about all the attention and worried that the puppies would hurt his side. This passed away as the puppies' antics and playing continued. He lay dozing in the sun with his eyes half shut. White Fang could not express what he was feeling. His life before Whedon Scott, a life of beating, hardships, and fighting, was a distant memory. The rest of his days were spent with the Scotts on their farm. There were no more disasters and no big adventures. He was at long last safe and warm. Even if he did not know the word for it, White Fang felt love.